Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is heading to the United States, planning to meet with President Biden at the UN General Assembly this week as his country faces perhaps its worst domestic crisis ever. And this isn't about the Palestinian conflict, it's about Israelis fighting Israelis. Large numbers of people took streets to protest the Netanyahu Coalition, Israel's most fair-right government ever, and its move weakened judicial system. The judicial overhaul is seen as so radical that President Biden has urged Netanyahu to move away from it. On the phone, I told him to support our promise of shared democratic values. That's what nearly 200,000 Israelis across the country did every Saturday night for more than 8 months. This full protest is in Tel Aviv. Some nights turned violent, with police's counter-protests and cars crashing into crowds. It may feel like the country is unraveling. The protests were triggered by the government's judicial attempt to weaken much of the Supreme Court's power. A majority of country sees weakening court as a power grab because it is only control over government in Israel. People like Eyal Naveh, who had never demonstrated in their lives, took to the streets. He leads a group tens thousands reservists who are at the forefront this democracy movement. They call themselves brothers in arms, as it says on their t-shirts. They are pilots, fighters, intelligence officers. Some are war heroes, and many still continue dangerous missions. Ron Scherf, and now the danger comes from within. Lesley Stahl More than enemies from outside. Ron Scherf Now. Yes. More. This is an existential threat to Israel. We spoke to 3 of them. Shira Eting I was a combat helicopter pilot. Ron Scherf Commander in Special Forces. And Omri Ronen Scherf when a regime, a government, wants to gain unlimited power. People get scared. And today people on the street fear that the government will gain unlimited power without judicial review. The national security chief has numerous criminal records, including supporting terrorism against Arabs. The finance minister describes himself as a fascist homophobe. Netanyahu, on the other hand, is in the middle of 3 separate trials on corruption charges. Protesters say laws his government has passed will not only weaken the courts but also control press and restrict individual rights, which is how democracies like Hungary have become autocratic. Omri Ronen, what happened in Hungary and Poland will not happen here. Lesley Stahl, there's a trend and it's going against you around the world. Omri Ronen Yes. Shira Eting We will be the first to stop this. Lesley Stahl You're all determined. Omri Ronen We're not kidding. Ron Scherf Seriously. Omri Ronen trying to stop it. And we will succeed. Omri Ronen Our Supreme Court is our last line of defense. And this is our last protection. Lesley Stahl What's at stake for women? Shira Eting We will all sit in the back seat.